Hey guys, it's Amber Dover from Glambergirlblog.com, and I am bringing you my first Glamberween digital video for our Glamberween series. Last week I had posted a video on this YouTube channel talking about my countdown to Halloween, which I call 13 Days of Glamberween, and this is going to be the first digital one. This is the first digital that I've done ever for the Glamberween series, so I'm excited. And this is a Halloween watch list. I think yesterday I posted, or the day before, I forget, I posted a Halloween watch list, and the first one that I added was Tales of Halloween that is streaming on Netflix. You can go to Glambergirlblog.com to read more about that film and why you should watch it and why you should add that to your Halloween movie playlist. If you see me looking down, it's because I have a bunch of notes. I like to write everything down. Here's my notebook. You can see that with my notes filled with things that I was noticing and jotting down from the series and wanted to talk about with you guys. Mind you, I'm so upset that IMDb, which is probably one of my favorite apps. I love TV, I love film, and I am constantly on IMDb just reading about films, reading about the films that I'm watching. I like the little trivia section. I like to look at the user reviews as well, but I really miss the message boards. The message boards was something that I always 100% went to when I was watching the film, because I wanted to communicate with those people who were watching the film like me, or had saw it years prior, or was getting into it, and I wanted to talk to them about the film. And those message boards on IMDb was just such a good haven for you to get your thoughts out if you were confused about the movie, which a lot of times I might be, and I need to clarify certain things. So I really miss those IMDb message boards. So if you guys out there, you movie lovers, TV lovers, found another website that mimics that IMDb message boards, please let me know. Put it in the comments, because I truly miss it. Or maybe we should start a petition to bring them back. Or maybe we can make our own website. Like, what kind of website would that consist of? I don't know. This Netflix series is Slasher. It was created by Aaron Hope, and he was the same person who created The Best Years, which I loved. That was a show on was Noggin, but then it changed to The End to be like cool for the teens. And he also wrote for Degrassi The Next Generation. So those little tidbits are important because it is a Canada produced series, and I noticed that a couple of people that were in The Best Years and who were in Degrassi also show up in this series. So it's good that Aaron is looking out for his people. This is called Slasher. It is an anthology series, and it is basically based on killers. Season 1 was about a serial killer called the Executioner. I believe that's what that season was called, the Executioner. And then season 2, which dropped October 17th of this year, it was called Guilty Party. So let's go to season 1 first, because I think that might have been my favorite seasons, even though I thought it was a little flawed. I was getting so angry at some of these characters, but that's what makes these things so good, you know? This killer who was killing people based on the 7 deadly sins, and he was killing them in ways where they were killed in the Bible. And I read that this was completely fictional. This was an added tidbit that he added, that these sins were not how people were killed in the Bible, but it was just these cool ways that I guess that they wanted to add a little twist to the story. Backtrack, it is a woman named Sarah who is the main character. She is played by, let me look that up real quick, that is Katie McGrath. She plays Sarah. She is the main character in season 1, and her husband is Dylan, played by Brandon J. McLaren, I believe his name. He was in The Best Years. But they are this couple who moved back to Sarah's hometown, moving to her childhood home. But the eerie thing is that her parents were brutally murdered. I don't think this is a spoiler. I'm going to try to stay spoiler free if you want to look at this show. But she moved back into her childhood home with her husband. Her parents were brutally murdered. She was actually cut out of her mother's womb when she was a child by this crazed killer. He's in jail now, and for some idiotic reason, like, Sarah goes to visit him and try to figure out, like, why did he do what he did to her parents. So it's this whole cat and mouse thing that those two characters have, and you see their relationship develop throughout the show. But the main thing is really this executioner who is uncovering the secrets of the town, which it's a small town, so you know they have big secrets. So he or she is coming to clean up the town and get rid of all the sinners, and he just does it in brutal ways. There are, of course, 7 casualties for the 7 deadly sins. Even though there are others, those are like the main things. Those are the main characters we are supposed to hone in on. But I really enjoyed season 1. It's definitely like a more gruesome American Horror Story, and American Horror Story does get very graphically violent, but this show really, goes there. As rated TV MA, so it does get really brutal. I mean, what can you expect with a show called Slasher? I mean, is very much like those slasher films: blood, gory, horrific deaths. They don't cut away. It goes there, and it's 8 episodes. Each season is about an hour each, give or take, maybe like 42 minutes, 52, but give or take, you're gonna have like an hour for each episode. So that is season 1, The Executioner of Slasher. Season 2, Guilty Party. It is about a bunch of camp counselors who return to what was once the camp because they killed one of their fellow counselors. So they are going back to the camp, which is now a yoga retreat spa situation, to recover the body and try to put it somewhere else, because the land was brought up. They're like, somebody's gonna find it, they're gonna know what we did, hence Guilty Party. So they go back to this camp, well, what was once the camp, to try to recover the body. And of course, people are starting to drop like flies. The group of friends who are the counselors, the people who are at the spa, at this retreat. So it is, of course, a cat and mouse game again with the killer. Now, this killer didn't have a name. He was just, or she was just, a person with a like down snow jacket with a big fur around the hood. It's like the Scream killer. So, or did he have? Oh no, I think he's like the Urban Legends killer. He's like the Urban Legends killer with the down jacket and the fur on the hood thing. I will say this started off on Chiller. The first season came out in 2016. It started as an original series on Chiller, which I'm so upset that I don't have, because I love horror films. I love horror shows. So I think Chiller is only on DirecTV. I have Xfinity, so can't tune into Chiller. So I'm glad Netflix has gained the rights, and now season 2 premiered on Netflix. So you guys can go to Netflix and check that out if you are so inclined. So that's my little tidbit of Slasher, why you should watch it on Netflix. It is currently streaming both seasons. I think it was a very interesting show. It's a quick binge watch because it's only 8 episodes. If you if you have that time, you can give yourself about a week. If you are like me, hardcore, I started on Saturday watching season 1, and I finished both seasons by Monday. I finished both seasons by Monday. If you love horror, if you love that American Horror Story vibe type shows, this is definitely a show for you. Please let's talk about it. Let's talk in these comments. Hit me up on social media at Glambergirlblog, and let's talk about Slasher on Netflix. I talked a lot. I'll see you guys in the next video.